Hey everybody, it's Molar, and we are in the first of our two Sun Temple missions. This is the peaceful sister mission to Bahariya Oasis. We have wind conditions of 4,500 population, a high culture rating of 45. Everything else is pretty modest. The Sun Temple is a little difficult because you have to bring in 220 sandstone in order to start the project, and then roughly the same to finish it. It's a very interesting but tight map, and we can do four kinds of food. We can do grain, cattle with the straw from the grain. We can do fish, and we can do game meat. We can cut wood, and we can gather reeds. We can make papyrus. We can make our own pottery and beer, bricks if we wanted to, and jewelry. Osiris is our patron god for a change, and we also have Ra, and we have Bast. We'll be able to do some festivals with Bast, and she'll give festivals to all the other gods. The Sun Temple has a really unique footprint. I'm going to try to put it on this side of the river if I can, maybe in conjunction with the temple complex. In terms of trade, we just have two trade routes that we can open. Own will buy wood from us, so they'll be an important early trading partner. Dunkal Oasis is our source of sandstone. We're going to want to max that out immediately. They also buy papyrus and reeds. So I'm going to try to do two senator blocks and a temple complex on the north shore here. We're going to use this area for feeding, I think. We've got the game meat, it's birds. We've got some floodplain. We can do some grain farms here. We're going to harvest wood over here. Just going to run the game and see where the fish are jumping. Looks like there's one down here in the south, and there's one up here in the north. The shoreline is really crappy here, so we're probably going to put all of our fishing boats here in the south. If you've been watching my videos, you know I get burned by ferries a lot, so I decided I was just going to run a quick little ferry test, see if I like my positions. Going to put this onto Get and see if the cart pushers will cross the ferries and get the southern wood. And they are, thank goodness. So this is where we're going to put our ferries, and hopefully they don't glitch during the game. So I've just put them down just so I can save some time. We're just going to connect this up. We're going to want to get started on our wood industry first, but first let me see if we can fit everything in here on the North Shore. That looks like we can. You need 33 in order to do it. It looks like it's 32. So we'll be missing some gardens and making it tight, but we should be able to make it work. We'll put a small senator block here to give employment to the hunters and to the farmers. And we'll do a small senator block here to do the woodcutters and the fisheries. Before we forget, let's open up Own so we can sell them the wood. They're a cheap water route. And we'll open up Dunkal Oasis to sell them the reeds and the papyrus. They're expensive, but they're by land. Taking a look at the commerce screen, there really isn't anything too interesting. We got that sandstone we want to bring in. We can import clay and sell pottery. We can eventually bring in barley and sell beer. I'm a little worried here about linen. It says we can export it. It doesn't say anything about importing. Might not be able to do manners. That's a problem for future Molar. Let's export reeds over 0 and papyrus over 0. Reeds doesn't fetch a super great price. We'll have excess probably. We might be able to import gems and sell some jewelry. But let's export the wood when over 0. And I think that is our trade. Let's start the base of the small senator block here. I have a few goals for this game. I want to make sure I have no junk housing. Everybody's in a housing block. And I want to try to get all 4 of the foods. We'll get our dock down. And we'll get the initial house down to supply the dock and the ferry. Because this is a reed map, we're going to need an apothecary. We're going to put the dock on accept all. It'll be our only dock. We need to make sure it doesn't fall down. Now I need a 10 by 10 area here in order to put down the senator block. I think that will do it. I hope I can get the house in that corner. I think so. I'm not gonna leave any room for aesthetics in these two blocks. You probably noticed that up top. Aesthetics could be a problem for evolving the housing, but we don't need them to go up past Rough Cottage. Let's just double check. Oh, good. Yep, that works. We'll get this block stable as well. We'll give a place to collect the wood. We'll do a half a yard with the wood, and we'll do a half a yard with the fish. And let's get some woodcutters down. There'll be some fishing boats there along the shore. And I think 3 ought to do it. They don't want a lot of wood. And we'll have to bring it to the dock. So we'll put it here. We'll put it on get. Maybe half a yard as well. Let's get this set up. We need to employ this ferry too. We'll be bringing most of the population down on this side of the river to start with, because it's shorter distance from the Kingdom Road. So there's the base for our Senator blocks. Large ones, of course. And I just need to go up, I think 18, and then 19 would be the top. So it looks like I measured right. And let's see if we can fit this in. We can. So work on the papyrus area first here. Get a storage yard down for the reeds and the papyrus. Half a yard of each. And we can do 5 initial papyrus makers. That'll get us a little over 2,500 a year. And 1 reed gatherer this close to the reed should do it. Connected up by a road. And we'll get our housing down here so we can get it employed. We'll just finish off this Senator block, because we're going to need the housing up on the top corner for the storage yards that are going to accept the sandstone. And here we go. This will accept sandstone. This will be the accepting warehouse for our big storage collection area. And because it's a malaria map, we need to get the apothecary down, which means I'm going to have to move my firehouse down to where the booth usually goes. So we'll be short a booth in these 2 Senator blocks. And we'll just put down our housing staggered so that we can make sure all of these hit 2x2s. That'll be really important on the long side, because all of these houses along this side are going to be manors later on, I hope. If we can get that linen. There, that'll be real controlled evolution of those houses into 2x2s. And we're gonna get down the gods. And I'm gonna put down Osiris temples in the little Senator blocks, because we're gonna try to take advantage of some of the oracles and altars in the Osiris temple complex. Talk about that more later. But our people are coming to town. Forgot to set sandstone onto import. We don't want to miss a single block. This mission will be long enough if we don't start right away. Here comes our Dunkle Oasis trader to give us the first shipment. The sandstone. Not put us in debt. Oh, and it looks like our first reed gatherer is getting murdered by a hippo. Now we have some wood, but the fairies are glitching again. Just gonna see if I can do the quick fix and delete them and restore them. Oh, thank goodness. The cart pusher is going to get the wood now. I hate fairies. Hopefully that's the last of the glitches. Hey, so we've got the money now and we need some more people in town, so I'm gonna lay down the second senator block. There's all our housing. We'll just do a mirror image of the other block. There'll be a limit to what we can evolve our manners, just because there won't be 3 gods. A little overview of what the city looks like in terms of layout. Here comes our ship.
I love the art of the deal. I can't wait to trade my supplies.
That's good, because we're running out of money. Oh, we ran out of money. There's some wood for you. I think this is going to be a pretty slow economic mission. Well, that takes us up to 1,289. We need to make room for next year's sales. And I'm going to set up the outline here because we're going to need 7 storage yards in order to bring in all the sandstone. So we'll collect it at the one and then we'll move it to all the others. It's supposed to go behind the dentist, so I think that's where the dentist is going. It's just in front. We still have quite a bit of wood to sell. We've got almost everything to sell to Dunkel. And we've got a lot of unemployment. I'm gonna start taxing people. And let's just make sure that I did this right. Yeah, we won't put that down until we have a lot more money. We need to make sure it doesn't burn down or fall down. And, oh man, that's gonna look nice. I really think it's gonna look nice. So I had my finger on the screen, and that is the start of the festival square. And we're overdue for this. Oh, I should have done it to Bast. Wasn't thinking. And I forgot this house. Looks like I was not thinking a lot this game. We need to get a shipwright down so we can make these fishing boats. We'll get rid of it after they're done, because you can't lose fishing boats. And we'll get the tax collectors down. I guess I'm gonna go into debt, but yes, I did. It's gonna make money, and I'm gonna have that back soon, so might as well just put them all down. There's our festival, so we should get it to Bast and correct our mistake, even though we're even further in debt now. But at least we've got a lot more papyrus to sell. I think they'll come to town one more time. Yep, there he is. Hope that's him. Okay. And we're nicely out of debt. This is going pretty good. We maxed out on reeds. Hopefully next year we'll max out on papyrus. So let's use that money to get the food set up. We're going to start off feeding these bottom guys with fish. There, that's 8. So we need to connect this guy up with the road. That's a little better for unemployment. So I'm gonna set up some roadblocks here just to try to control the walkers coming out of the housing blocks. We've got a sale, so that's a little bit more money. He's going up to deliver the stone, so we're gonna spend it. Believe he's going to put it in that one. Yeah. So we'll set up another one. We'll put it on get as well. I think it's time that we started to think about getting these blocks fed and set up a little farther. Let's just measure 2 storage yards, and I guess that's where the granary can go, and we'll get a 1/4 yard of fish. And we'll feed these guys with the bazaar. And we'll feed these guys up here with a bazaar as well. Enjoy the fish! And we'll get them water. Unemployment. Let's check to see how much pottery we can sell. 1,500 clay and 1,500 pots. We'll start to set that up. So let's get down a storage yard and get 1/2 yard of clay and 1/2 yard of pottery. We'll go to the commerce screen and we'll bring in 1/2 yard of clay and we'll export pottery over 0. And I guess we should set up some potters. So I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to put the cattle ranches here. I'm going to put the potters, probably going to put brewers later on if I've got room. Now that we've got this to look after with architect and fire, I'll close off the housing block. And there's our housing for the area. There's food in the granary for them already. And 1,500 is 3 potters. And gems, let's take a look. We can do 1,500 gems. So I think I'm going to do an in-out with jewelers as well. Now I want that architect and firehouse to go do this loop. So I'm going to just do some creative road blocking there. So I think those guys will go and make that loop now. We'll find out. If it burns down later, we'll know why. So I've got the money to put down the jewelers. So let's get a storage yard for them. And we'll do the same thing. 1/2 yard of jewelry and 1/2 yard of gems. And 1,500 is 3 jewelers. So we'll put that down. And we'll import 200 for each of them at a time. That way we won't overbuy gems. And we got our housing down for the lower block, and there's food for them as well. And I don't need that shipwright anymore. And I'm just going to tweak the taxes and the wages to make sure everybody stays happy. And let's start to think about doing our game meat, I guess here. So 1/2 yard of game meat, and maybe I'll do this, bring jewelry over to the dockside. Welcome to the dockside. And we'll get our hunting lodges down. I think 3 ought to do it. That's 1.5 for 2 small senator blocks. And since I'm bringing jewelry over there, I think I'm going to bring pottery over here. We are going to need it for the housing blocks. Oh, thank you, Bast. I think we've hit the population where we're going to want to have a little bit more coverage from the gods, so I'll put down a couple of shrines. And let's start to bring the game meat over here. We'll do 1/2 yard, and we'll save a 1/2 yard for the second food. Well, that's the end of our second year and the beginning of our third. Let's have a festival to Bast. And we'll get down our police stations. We'll replace those with courthouses, but right now I just want to make sure no one robs the tax collector's offices or the palace. There's a bit more money in the coffers. Let's get down another one of these. And it's finally time for the temple complex. We're going to want to put down the altar and the oracle in this one. The altar means the priests from the temple will make everybody eat less food and use less goods. And the oracle is going to make the woods and the game meat restore quicker. Only the inner houses that'll be manors are going to get the benefit of the Osiris priest. Speaking of them, it's time to get another trio of shrines down. Osiris doesn't need a shrine because the temple covers 8,000 people, but it's just for aesthetics. And I think this is where I'm going to put the Senate house. It's going to make me lose a house, but I think it'll be a good idea. And we have another 4x4 building in the palace that I can use to kind of balance things out. Just make it look a little nicer. Might as well get rid of those houses before I feed them. And it's party time. Thank you, Bast. And might as well just get full granaries with the fish. Bit of unemployment. I think I'll just finish off this top area here. We need 7 total. Like there better. It's just nice to have an area like this where the trader drops it off in one and it gets emptied by the others. That way you never mess up a import shipment. Oh, that's a nice boost from raw. Sell a little bit more wood. And I can build the oracle. I want it first. I want the woods growing back fast. We'll put down the altar when we can. And we can. Oh no. Fairies are glitching, I think. So you didn't want to see this happen, but the long and short of it is the fairy didn't like having a fishing boat beside it, which is so dumb. I hate fairies. Oh, it's working again. Good stuff. Trust me, that is 32 grain farms. You're glad you didn't see me do it. It was painful, but that gives 4 loads of straw for each of the cattle ranches that I'm gonna put down. I need to come up with a storage plan for this area, but I also need to get out of debt. This is stupid. Unemployment and debt, not a good combo. And we're gonna get wheat up here. Half a yard. No, still too much in debt. Well, we're finally out of debt, so I think I'm gonna put the cattle ranches down. Oh man, this mooing sound when you put them down is just hilarious. I think we need less mooing and more cowbell. And let's make sure that everything can get off the fields. There's really no good place for the architect post in the firehouse, so I'll just put them here. I might move them later. And we're gonna go half straw, and half cattle meat. And these ones will just accept grain, so it comes off the field fast. Then the granaries can come and get it. And we'll get that second granary down. I'm going to feed the top large senator block with the game meat and the grain, and this other one will do cattle meat and grain. And I think that's just going to be a nice little aesthetic, weird choice for that area. And just because I am a little crazy, I don't want to have an odd number of fishing boats, so I'm going to take one away. We got a lot of fish anyways. Both granaries are full. And we're short of workers now. So let's make it temporarily worse by creating more jobs. These houses will upgrade. And then we'll get the schools down. Oh, that's a little bit better looking, I think. Good stuff. Now we'll put the dentist down while I'm thinking about it. And then these housing blocks are pretty much done. Farming is coming along. Still a long way to harvest. But we might as well start feeding these guys. Since we're short of people, I'll just buy grain here. And the game meat like we were talking about. And here we'll do the meat and the grain. Oh, that's nice. More money from trade. There, we got a little bit of unemployment now. Just because we're going to need pottery for the housing blocks, I'm going to just put down another couple, and I think I'll take it to 8. We might run out of clay, but we've got the jobs. Gives me something to do with that road. And everybody's coming off the field. Storage yards are full. Granaries are getting full. So I'm going to put down blocking statues here in the large senator blocks, and this just keeps the corner houses from evolving into manors, although desirability will probably keep them from doing that. I'm just going to rejig some things. This could be stupid, and I might regret it. But I'm going to stick these up here, because I do want to evolve that lower corner manor, and like I was just talking about desirability, I think I need a little bit of extra. Both of these buildings have high desirability, so it'll help the upper houses evolve too. So I might not regret it, but we're going to put a statue down here against the future corner manor, and that'll counteract all the storage yards and the granaries and stuff, I hope. We'll get our personal mansion in. It's kind of going to be nice, especially when the Senate House gets put in. It's going to look nice. We'll just spend some time beautifying things. We need pretty high desirability to get these manors. So we need gardens here. We need to do plazas around the temple complex. And in honor of our reed murdering hippos, we'll give some hippo statues here. And we'll just decorate that area. Kind of like this part of the game, you get to pretty things up. you get to be a little bit artistic, although I'm not very artistic. And here's the plazas. Oh, I missed the top row. I'll get it. Let's do it. Okay. There's some good initial aesthetics. And we'll get our bandstand road into the large senator blocks. I like to have all the entertainment down at the very bottom so the entertainment walkers have less distance to walk to get to their venues. I should do a culture video. And we managed to put ourselves in debt again. Art is expensive. It's gonna just be a long wait for all the sandstone to come in over the years. We're not getting any gifts and we're not getting any trade increases, at least not much. We did get one from Raw. We'll just pretty up the rest of the senator blocks. Get the periphery gardens down. Our economy is starting to do pretty good. So we can spend money on stuff like this now. I have a few corrupt tiles at the bottom from the hippo murders. Anytime they kill somebody, you can't put anything on the tile where the person died, which is a weird little glitch. You can fix it by saving the game and reloading the game at that point. I like to call them crocodiles. Trade more. That's awesome. We should be able to get some sandstone in a little bit more this year. I'm really itching to get that Sun Temple down and get started on it. We're gonna get rid of the police stations. Put down our courthouses. Got a lot of goods to bring into these blocks to evolve them, but we should have the services ready for them. Look at the scribal schools down. And look at the libraries. We don't have the papyrus. We need 500 papyrus to lay down a library. We'll get to them, but we'll get the mortuaries down. So we have a nice little health complex here with the dentist, physician, mortuary, and apothecary. A little hospital area of our large senator blocks. Hey, we can do that. We'll just put down some more papyrus makers. Maybe that'll help us get our libraries down faster. We'll get our schools down. Oh, that wood we gave to Deshur gets us a trading outpost. They sell us barley so we can finally start doing the beer. Nothing else of interest there. So this will be our beer collecting storage yard for the housing blocks. And let's just rejig this. Before I forget, let's set that to get beer. And we'll get down our extra papyrus for the libraries. One more. Yeah. Okay, let's get the schools down. I like to group them together when I can. Buildings of a similar theme, I like to group. Put down one more jeweler. And we'll change that to 800. We'll just put all of our exports in such a way that no trader is going to go to the wrong storage yard. And we'll start getting the brewery industry going. So we'll bring barley in here. And we'll accept beer. And it'll get pulled to the other side of the river. That's 8. That ought to do it. I think that'll be fine. Some to sell and some for ourselves. And let's start bringing entertainment to the masses. I forgot we don't have room for jugglers' booths because of the malaria map. These blocks are balanced for culture. If you look what a city needs for population for each of the jugglers, dancers, and musicians. A large senator block with the venues here will cover that nicely. So if you balance your blocks for culture, you end up having an easier time meeting culture requirements at the end of a game. When I took out the tax collectors, I should have put in houses here. Starting to get worried we're not going to have enough people. And we're going to get the Senate House in. It's too bad you can't see it. And we'll get a library down. And we'll not get a library down. Just need a little bit more papyrus. I'm gonna start to get some wood over here. The Sun Temple needs carpenters. We're getting really close to having all of the sandstone. Oh, we can do that. We've got a lot of fish. And we get to trade more Dunkel Oasis, more sandstone, so that's nice. Oh, and beer is more expensive. We're gonna put down a future storage yard here for linen. I'm hoping we get linen. We should get linen. Something should open up. We should get linen. Hopefully it's linen and not flax because I don't have room for any weavers anywhere. We speed things up, and we're going to start evolving these blocks. Start by giving them pottery. And we'll get our last library down. Yeah. We'll get a carpenter's guild for the wood there, because we need to do scaffolding. We can do that. We've got a lot of grain. You can have 800. Maybe that'll get us a trade route. Yes, it did. Unit, please. Nope. That's nothing. What a disappointment. I'm not even sure why I opened them. I think we've got enough. Yay. Oh, that is gonna be really pretty. It's not so pretty right now. Let's get our bazaar here for the manors. We're doing linen, hopefully, and the second food through the main bazaar, so we should be okay. Get rid of the storage yards we don't need anymore, and get some work camps down to haul the sandstone that's gonna come in later. And we'll get 3 stonemasons down, maybe 4. So now that Sun Temple should complete as quick as we get sandstone. And we'll do a little bit more gardening here. If I hit the right button. And we'll just try to counteract the undesirability of the firehouse with a couple of shrines. They're the most aesthetic, desirable things you can put down in a 1x1. Sorry, I keep messing around with this. I'm setting them back to 0 now that we're out of debt and doing okay with money. I'm gonna put down a storage yard back here, just in case we get to the sandstone later. And we're gonna try to pretty up things around these blocks here because we're gonna need the... Oh, let's deliver the wood. We're gonna need the aesthetics over here because we are gonna be short of our housing goal with our current level of housing. I either gotta squeeze a bunch of people in, or I'm gonna have to upgrade some of these houses, or I'm gonna have to put down another housing block somewhere, and I don't want to do that. So we're gonna maximize what we've got. Okay, we've got a Djedu, please. Oh yeah, linen, awesome. And they buy wood. Oh, and they buy papyrus. I like this. Please. Give me linen. Buy my wood. In fact, let's up our wood game here a little bit. Because 4,000 is a lot. Let's get to some of this wood that nobody seems to be chopping down here. I think our housing area blocked it off. We have a lot of reeds, and Djedu wants papyrus, so I'm going to see. We might not have a lot of excess reeds to sell after this, but papyrus is worth way more. We can start selling game meat too. So let's get down another hunting lodge. And let's continue to try to get these houses up a little bit. I'm putting things in weird places now. Oh good, that bumped those up a smidge. Let's get rid of a house that's never going to do anything and stick in a statue. Okay, well that's as much as we're going to get out of there. And we'll buy linen in our housing blocks, and we'll buy beer, and these should go up pretty fast now. Do the same for the other housing block. And there's our first manors. You lose a little bit of population when you do this because 3 of the fancy residences hold more than 2 manors do. So we just lost, I don't know, 60 people or so. So that's going to make our housing crisis a little worse. I should have put down 3 blocks. Everybody's ready to bless us by the looks of it. And that sun temple is coming along. We're doing the fencing on the outside. That all requires sandstone. We'll get another manor pair. Gonna give these housing blocks pottery. Otherwise, I'm never gonna hit 4,500. Couple of asymmetric statues there. And we're that desperate. We're gonna give these guys beer. $4,200 people. I think I'm gonna get rid of the statues even and see if I could put some houses there. It looks like that manor stayed stable. And I'm gonna get rid of my personal mansion and bring in some people. And I'm gonna get some aesthetics in that corner so we bump these up a little bit higher. There's a new aesthetic plan right there. We're over 4,500. Thank the Lord. I can't evolve any more manors though because I'll drop down below 4,500. And we'll do some prettying up of the Sun Temple area here. And now we're just cruising in. We just gotta get the last little bit of sandstone. Our ratings are all where they need to be. It's a back shot of the city. Let's see what it looks like from the sky. We met all our goals for this one. Used all 4 foods. Everybody's in a housing block. And we'll just time-lapse photography our way to the end of the Sun Temple here. Finish off by throwing a nice festival to Ra, a grand festival. Hopefully we can time this nicely.
Superb. The glorious Sun Temple you have built honors both Ra and Pharaoh.
65 culture, 100 prosperity, 86 for a kingdom rating, and 4,532 people. So here's the city in all its glory. I've got rid of the monument staging area. I've evolved the rest of the housing up to manors. You can see that we did drop below 4,500 people. The Festival of Ra is going on in front of our beautiful Sun Temple. I had a great time this mission. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you in the next one.